Oh, I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her, yeah. And she gon' work that right. I'ma mess around and drown when she drop that down. No more phone me blowing up, I like not right now. Oh, I swear that she in next the way she work that mouth. Whoa, automatic cause she move, she be cousin static. I be straight up like an addict, might become an addict. Now I gotta have it, had enough with all the moves, yeah, move here. Ooh, let me grab it now, I'm on 1 year. Now I'm not done yet, told her wait right here. I'll be back one sec, this is just time out, this is not no way. Go and grab that friend, and you know what's next, stay. You been rockin' with it all-star, baby, and I know you coming early like a five-star, baby. Packing out the seat, this ain't no hostile, baby, and they know me in the city like a mob star. Oh, I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide, never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys got me cracking up in the chat. I'm not going to lie, guys. If I'm sitting at the desk as that intro's rolling, I am sitting here watching chat, talking to you guys. And I'm just usually cracking up. You guys are funny. But what is going on, Mafia? Welcome back to another amazing Frankie Candles live stream. We got a lot to talk about today as we are seeing Bitcoin come down as we were looking for that push up into that $64,000 zone over the weekend before that drop back to the downside. Are we going to be able to hit those lower targets we've been having our eye on, sitting at around 58K? Or are we going to get a bounce? We're going to talk about that today. Bitcoin kind of just been wiggling sideways other than the pullback that we got yesterday. Now, if you remember to yesterday's live stream, guys, I even brought this up on the live stream, talking about the 8-hour red dot and that 30-minute money flow crossover into the red, making that 30-minute money flow crossover into the red that potential thing that was going to give us a next little push to the downside. And I just want to show you how reliable that strategy can be, because we almost saw it happen live on stream last night. So we're going to be covering that. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. Go ahead and smash that like button if you guys have not already. 150 likes. We might have to start going for 150 likes if Bitcoin doesn't start moving and start getting attention here on crypto. But 550 likes, guys, will get us some free Frankie Candles hats, as you see pictured here. Free Frankie Candles hats and some extra crypto giveaways on Friday's live stream. Turbo breaking out. PJ, we could try to take a look at Turbo. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin, talking about the key levels, what I think is next, and then we'll take a look at those altcoins, guys. I do have a bunch of stuff that I have to do tonight, so I may make this a little bit shorter, but you guys know how those short streams go. They usually go for about 2 hours. So we'll see what happens. We're going to freestyle the altcoins, and I'm going to try to get out here a little bit early. But shout out to Melissa, especially because Bitcoin's going sideways, guys. It's super boring here. But let's see. I want to make sure you guys are prepared because a lot of times when Bitcoin is boring, it very quickly wakes up and does something fun. So I'm going to have you guys all prepared for that with the key levels. Shout out to Gen Z. We got Green Day Prophet in the chat. What is going on? Rob the Crypto Snob. Show our mods some love, guys. You know who they are. We got Dave Digital, Rob the Crypto Snob, Crypto Billy, Chemistry Bro. You guys know who they are. Drop some love for them in the chat. We got Nirvana in the chat. What is going on? Gen Z, shout out to Jason Spires. What is going on? He said, hey, Frankie, good stuff. As always, my favorite show before bed. Shout out to Jason. Well, hey, bro. Hey, you want me to sing you a lullaby? I'll do it, bro. I'll do it. I'll sing a lullaby. You guys don't know this, but I used to be a professional lullaby writer. I'm just kidding. Don't pressure me, guys. I'm not going to do it. But anyway, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Shunzin. Shout out to Fabian. What is going on? We got Little Story in the chat. What is going on, bro? Good to see you. We got Duke. Said off the grid AVAX play now. Ooh, interesting. Shout out to Duke. Let's see. We got the Candle Vandal, bro. That is a good name. The Candle Vandals. Fire, bro. But yeah, guys, with all that being said, we got Jesse Gulch. I always say Jesse Gulch. It's a Galuk. I don't know how to say that last name, but shout out to Jesse. What is going on, bro? Dropping those candles in chat as always. Seek Parabolic. Good to see you. Al Jr., you were the one that had me cracking up in chat right before we started. But guys, we got a lot to look at today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's go ahead and jump on in. All right, so let's see. Melissa in the chat. What is going on, Melissa? Good to see you. Got to look at Sui today. Hey, Frankie, what is going on, Robin? We could try to take a look at Sui, no problem. Obviously, Sui is getting an explosion, and I do just want to cover Celestia. As we were looking at on yesterday's live stream, guys, I had been looking at Celestia over the weekend, kind of comparing it to kind of where it is. In terms of structure compared to where Bitcoin was as it was at the bottom of the bear market, and Celestia and a lot of these altcoins really don't look that bad. And before we jump to TA, guys, I do just want to say I am generally bullish on Bitcoin. Anything short of a black swan event, I do think that we are headed to higher prices. The chart looks pretty bullish. I mean, we might as well just jump in here. Let me go ahead and turn off some of this local TA. The chart does look bullish, right? In my own personal opinion, right? Coming up to the higher time frames, it does look that, we could continue to the upside here, right? One of the things we were looking at yesterday was the bull market support band, which is basically just a few different moving averages put together. Typically, when we're above this, we are very bullish, and when we are below it, that's kind of where you start to go into bear markets. Now, obviously, this is not just like a binary thing. You could slip below it and then get back above it and then slip back below it and then finally reject. So you have to keep other things in mind here, right? You have to think the timing of the cycle, macroeconomics, all that good stuff as well. But, one thing I did like was we were starting to kind of lose this last week, right? But we did wick right above, and right as this candle closed, last week, right? We got that closure right above the bull market support band, which is really nice, right? Like we could easily, lose this again. It's not impossible, but I did just kind of want to point that out, right? So we are back above that bull market support band. And on top of that, just the fact that this chart, just in general, like looks bullish to me, right? Like in a bull market, everybody gets, this is boring, guys. This is absolutely brutal price action. Like just going sideways, especially a grind. Sometimes sideways price action can be worse than dumps. But honestly, in my opinion, the worst kind of price action is a slow grind down, right? Like a descending channel, because not only is it completely boring, right? This is 7 months. 7 months of sideways action, guys. This is brutal. But when it grinds to the downside, it adds like a little extra, it's kind of like lemon juice in that wound, right? But yeah, that is, a lot of people are feeling the pain here. But in general, we talk about this a lot. You get the big move up, consolidation to the consolidation sideways, wash out the longs, big move up. Consolidation sideways, wash out the longs, big move up. Consolidation sideways, wash out the longs. Well, wash out the short, wash out the wash out the shorts and the longs here. But get the big move up, consolidation sideways, and oftentimes they say, guys, I always say this, right? I didn't make this up, but the larger the base, the higher in space. And this could be a bull flag, right? Now obviously this doesn't completely. It's not that we can't break down to lower prices, but I will say, I do think seeing higher prices such as 70 to 75,000, maybe even beyond, is probably likely in the near future. Now, is the near future tomorrow, right now, from here to 100K? Probably not, right? And I'm going to show you guys kind of what I'm expecting in the short term, because if you guys watched last week's live streams, we were able to call those weekend moves absolutely perfectly. The TA was absolutely tapped almost to the dollar, and we got that rejection from the 64K range that I was talking about in my Friday market update. We came right up there, said we were looking for shorts, and we got that drop to the downside. So I'm going to kind of talk about what I'm expecting in the short term, but in general, I just want to cover this. My long-term outlook on Bitcoin is anything short of a black swan event. I do think we are likely to see these higher prices. And again, if you guys have been watching, you know that we could get a shorter-term pullback. But even if we were to come down to like 58K, like maybe we kind of just bing-bong around here a little bit more before we go. Maybe there's some kind of crazy news drops us down to lower prices. But either way, guys, I am bullish on Bitcoin right now. Even with the 3-day money flow coming into the red, this is obviously something we have to look at because that could indicate that the downtrend is going to continue in the long term. But even if that were the case and we were to put in another lower low here, as you can see, ever since we started this range, put in a high, a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This is a higher low and then a higher high, right? So this right here could indicate the change in trend, which could kind of front run the idea of this money flow coming back into the green. But even if we were going to get that drop back to the downside and we were to break these lows, this would be bearish in my opinion. But even that, right, a visit to 40K, which again, as long as we remain, right, just remember this, as long as we remain above this value area low, the level that we bounced off of, the level that we were going long at after calling the top here for the big dump, not big dump, but this little dump to the downside here, this macro value area low, as long as we hold above this, I am not really looking for, I should say 58K, right, 57K. Really not until we lose 57K am I really, in worry for that drop back down. But as long as we remain at these higher prices, I don't think there's a reason to look down to 40K. It doesn't mean that it's off the table forever, but just as of right now, looking at 60,000, between 60,000 and 60,400, and then down to about $58,000 to $57,000 as key levels of support to hold. And as long as we can get back down there, if we do get back down there, as long as we can hold those levels, I do think we are eventually going to see that liquidity above $70,000 get taken. Now let me pull up Exo charts here for a second. I will pull up those liquidation heat maps. Yeah, I'll just pull it up right here. As you guys can see here, $57,000. We do have that liquidity. This is something we've been looking at on the channel for the past week or so. So just keep in mind there that liquidity is still sitting down there. And then obviously, on the flip side of that, we do have all that liquidity sitting above $70,000. Now, again, it's not as easy as spotting that liquidity and saying there's more liquidity up here, we have to go there first, or there's more liquidity down here, we have to go there first. But this just we use this to add it into our other forms of analysis to figure out that highest probability outcome, right, on price action. So, as we look at this, I am bullish in the long term for the most part, right? If we pull up our monthly chart here, monthly VWAP is coming up, so this is nice. I do think once we wind up, if we are going to see a break of the all-time highs at some point, now again, the reason I'm kind of pushing the bullish sentiment right now is because I'm going to talk about the bearish case, and I am not bearish on Bitcoin. This is just for the trades. But, when we do get that move up, if we do get that move above the highs to take that liquidity out at $70,000. Now, I will be monitoring price action very, very closely here, because just because we break these all-time highs does not mean that we won't get a sweep of that liquidity and a return back down. But if we get a move up to about 75,000, 70 to 75K, and even potentially beyond, I do think that monthly green dot is going to be the big signal to watch, because, if we start getting above that POC at $67,000, which is really the next real pinnacle level of resistance, if we do wind up, whether we get that short-term play out to 58K, it is actually looking pretty nice as of right now. And I'll go over the short-term in a second. But, whether we get the move down to 58K before getting the bigger move up, or we just wind up coming up from one of these levels, this is still the major level of resistance between 67, and I would even call it, let's pull our range fib here from the high to the low here. Yeah, POC at $67,000. Your 786 is sitting at 68,590. So I would call it between about 67 and 68K is the real zone to get above. Now, don't forget, we also have the longer term. Let me hide the main range here. We also have that longer term trend line on the weekly here. This is what we kind of been looking at. I don't typically use trend lines that often, but this was coming in very confluent with our POC, and was part of the reason why we were screaming dump here, was because we were coming up not only to that trend line, but also the macro POC of the range sitting at 67,000, and we also had that time point of control. So if you're looking for kind of the level to get above, the first and closest level of resistance that you must get above for higher prices is sitting between 67.1 and 66.2 to 66.3, right? We got to get above that box and that trend line decisively, not come up, tap it, and then put in a lower high and come down. We have to get above these levels and hold above them in order to see that $70,000 level and that $74,000 all-time high get taken. This is the level to watch, guys. That is it right there. Now, again, are we going to get the pullback first and then the move up there to attack that level, or are we going to come up and try to fight it and come back down? Who knows? I'm going to show the shorter-term price action here and kind of what I'm expecting moving forward here in the medium term. So long-term, I do think eventually, whether it looks like this or it looks like this or it looks like that, I am bullish on Bitcoin moving into this next cycle. Anything short of a black swan event, anything other than a black swan event, I am bullish in the long term, but there's obviously going to be turbulence along the way, which are the moves that we like to try to call, so we can make moves, so we can make money on those little moves to the upside and downside. So overall, not looking too bad here on the higher time frames in my own personal opinion. But as we move down here, daily money flow also still in the green. So this could still, kind of be a sign that if we were to continue down from here, come tap that 58K level, maybe even 57K. We know we have a lot of liquidity down there, right? And then we get that big move up. Everybody will be calling head and shoulders, right? Actually, this kind of already does look like a head and shoulders a little bit. This kind of is a little wonked out. But either way, if we do come down to that 58, 57K level where we know that we have all that liquidity that I just showed right here, that is 47. That is not it. Bear with me. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? That is 59. What am I doing here, guys? Where is that chart? There it is. So 57K, that liquidity is sitting there visually. So the question is, are we going to get the move down there? And I'm going to talk about kind of why right now. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Jenny says they dumped it last night. They're going to pump it tonight. And I'm going to talk about that in the short-term kind of outlook here, because it's not possible to get a little retracement back to the upside, in my own personal opinion. Let's see. Shout out to Mike Vito, said TA $1 million, dude. Shout out to Mike Vito. Let's go. But yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second. Just a wish and a dollar. Shout out to Gen Z. Let's go. But yeah, so let's pull up these local levels, right? Now, obviously, if you guys watch the show, you will know that the major range that we've been looking at is right here. And this is part of the reason why we were able, part of the reason, of many reasons, to look for the dump that we were calling for up here at about $64,000 to $65,000. Not to be confused with this rejection we were looking for at $64,000. We called both of these almost perfectly. Not even almost. We called these perfectly. If you watch my market updates, you guys will be up to date on this stuff. But we deviated above the value area high, looked for the move. Once we got below this value area low, the next likely place for price to go was going to be that POC at about $60,400. What else was at $60,400? Very simply put, the macro value area low of the range. This is where we were saying do not get overly bearish at support. At the value area low, this is not the place to be looking for shorts. This is the place to be looking for longs. Not longs to 100K. Well, for me, it's a place to look for longs because I like to take those little scalps, right? But many reasons to look for that bounce here, right? So we got the short in the premium Discord. Shout out to the premium. From the high to the POC here. Got the scalp from the POC slash macro value area low. Don't forget that. Up into some very key levels of resistance where we were looking on Friday in the market updates to come up to that $64,000 level before coming in, putting in a lower high and potentially continuing down, finally targeting two major levels. The end target for me would be about 57,252, right? This is where a lot of the liquidity is sitting. We could come down there, maybe even slip the low before finally coming back up. Now, this is one scenario, guys. This is not guaranteed to happen, but this is what I would really like to see. And just remember this, guys. Lots of people were expecting all-time highs here. The bullish thumbnails, the meme coins are back. Oh, my God, 100K. Doesn't mean that we can't make it to 100K, but it is very unlikely that, when you see all that stuff pop up, that you're going to get all that stuff to play out, right? So keep that in mind. The TA is always going to be more reliable than a YouTube thumbnail, whether it's my YouTube thumbnail, even my thumbnails, although I do try to relate that to legitimate stuff that we look at. And I don't just like doing random clickbait. If it's super emotional, my titles or my thumbnails, I always watch this bullish signal. I will show you the bullish signal I am talking about. I'm not just going to make up a bullish signal to get clicks. But just to keep this in mind, the TA will always play out way more than the thumbnails will. Just keep that in mind. You got to watch the videos. You got to watch the actual information. But, once you get above this, you look to go to the POC. We get the bounce. I'll bring up the local levels that we rejected here. But my overall thought is kind of to get that rejection and then a move back down to $57,000 to $58,000. You have to remember $58,000 is another very key level because the two major ranges that we're watching is this one with the value area high at 65.2, POC sitting at 61K. All the way down to about 60K, 60 to 61K. Value area low coming in at 57.5, all the way down to about 57K. We also have a lower range coming in just below, right here, between 61.5, 59K, and about 57K. These are the two ranges that I am looking at, right? Those are the two ranges, the larger range and the smaller range, right? The lower range. And you can see, this is, actually, shout out to the premium Discord. I'll pull it up in a second. But this is exactly what we wanted to see. The bounce up to 64K, potential support here at 61.3 at the value area high. But once we start getting underneath this value area high, that's where I'm looking down for the move down to 59.2, break below the POC. This is also kind of incorporating 58K because if I pull up this this monthly, brings you down to about 59 to 58. Bring you down here, and then once you lose this, that's where you can go for that liquidity at 57K, right? And then this is really what I would want to see. Well, I'll pull this up and I'll pull up the premium in a second. But guys, don't forget, ending on October 17th, if you guys are looking for a place to trade, Blowfin is the place to be. They are giving, just for the CandleMafia, they are giving a maximum of $1,500 in bonus funds. Depending on how much you deposit, they will give you free bonus funds to trade with. It's literally just free money. You can't deposit, you can't withdraw it. But if you make money on it, so let's say you get $100 in free bonus funds and you put in a $100 trade and you turn it into $200, you could keep the profit without risking any of your real money. But it does require deposits, and that does end on October 17th. You can come to the announcement section in the free Discord if you guys want to check out the actual details on that. But Blowfin is the place to be. I'm actually going to trade on Blowfin right now. But what I wanted to show you guys here is let me actually pull my face cam up here because I don't want to leak any premium sauce. It wouldn't be fair to the people who pay. But I do want to show something in here because this has kind of been my thought process, for a while here, is getting the bounce that we just saw to see that move up to $64,000 for the bigger rejection down to 58K. And there's no guarantees this is going to play out, but it is basically the same exact thing. This is that same lower range, and you can see ever since we got in here, this is at $60,000 where we look for the long position. Given in the premium Discord, we got the bounce out of the range up to about 64,000, which is what we were looking for. Does that look familiar? Pull it down to the 1 hour. Does that look familiar, right? We were down here, took the long, looked for it to come up to about 64K-ish, right? And now we're looking to come down and follow the plan exactly. Now, it's not very easy to just draw a line on the chart and have price follow it exactly like that. That is not, that's unrealistic to expect all the time. But I'm just saying, this has been our plan for quite some time. This post is from let's see, 10-3, right? So, yeah, this is from October 3rd. And then same plan, though. We've already gotten this to play out. Now we're going to see if we could break below that value area high, get stuck in the range, go down to the POC, where I will potentially be looking for a bounce, and then lose that POC, go down to the low at about 57,000. And then that's going to be kind of the big area to look at. So yeah, just following along with the plan, like Bitcoin is doing what we're telling it to right now. To be honest, it kind of seems unlikely. Like if that happens, it's very unlikely that you could just draw a line on the chart and have it play out beautifully like that. Like literally exactly as we were looking for in that picture. So we'll see what happens. Now, if we look at Market Cipher B, guys, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of context into what we actually rejected here and where price is probably going to be going next, I will just point this out, right? If you guys watched the market update on Friday, we were down here looking for that bounce into the value area low first, flip that value area low to support, go up to the value area high / golden pocket in this purple box for the lower high, where we were talking about looking for short positions. Obviously, we did catch that in the premium Discord before it happened. Got to move back down to the value area low, and now we are starting to potentially lose this range. Absolutely perfect. It's like the TA is just slapping right now. So we'll have to see what happens. The thing here is we could potentially get a retracement here. Now, I'm in a little bit of not a pickle, but I'm in an interesting situation. I'm going to show some trades in a second. But I am in a short position. I actually, I actually don't have a beautiful entry into the short, so I have a plan. I think what I'm going to do here is I may, if we wind up coming up a little bit more here, I may just take the profit I'm in on the trade right now, or even stop out at break even, and then just add to my trade from much higher, right? I'm going to trade from up here at about 66K, and I am still holding a portion of that too. So I think I may just take the small win that I have here on the short that we were from up here. The trade in the Discord was given from the top here, but I was in the live stream, so I missed my entry, and I wound up getting in on a horrible retracement. It wasn't that great of an entry. So I may just lock it in, and then if we come up, just add to my bigger short that I'm already in. But here's the thing, right? This is a volume profile. As we deviate below this volume profile, you guys can see something. We are potentially starting to put in some bullish divergences here on the 1 hour, as well as some other time frames as well. The 30-minute has put in some nice bullish divergences as well, but excuse me, they're not really playing out that well. But I will say, oftentimes when you see these bull divs below a value area, you are not at risk, but it opens the door to get above your value area low and potentially come up to some higher prices. Now, what I would kind of look at if we do get another retracement, now, to be honest, I don't know how likely this is, right? I'm kind of hoping we just come down and I can hold the short I'm in and hold my bigger short. But, this is kind of the move, right? If we wind up getting a bigger retracement, we also have the 3-hour green dot looking to print. We also have the 4-hour green dot looking to print. I know it's hard to see here. Zoom in on Market Cipher here a little bit. You can see VWAP starting to come up towards that 0 line. So maybe we print the 4-hour green dot, the 3-hour green dot. We start to see these, these other medium time frames start to print green dots that may be able to give us a retracement. But I will be honest, guys. Right now, your 6-hour money flow is coming back out. And really what I'm looking at here is your 12-hour red dot. You have a 12-hour red dot with your 45-minute money flow in the red. This could be a signal for more downside, as well as your 80-minute. Your 80-minute money flow is crossing over into the red. 90-minute is getting very close to crossing over into the red. So we really have to see what this daily is going to do on Market Cipher, right? If this daily prints that red dot on Market Cipher B, keep this in mind. If that red dot prints on Market Cipher B on the daily, and that 90-minute money flow continues to the downside and crosses into the red, this might be where the bigger move down happens. Because if you remember last night, this is why you do not want to miss these live streams, guys. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already, if you want to catch these moves before they happen. Literally last night on the live stream, we were looking at the 30-minute money flow crossover being the start of the bigger move down. Now, we looked at this on the live stream before we even got the move, right? We had already gotten the move down, right? And we got the retracement, right? We look at the time here, 5:30. 6 o'clock, right? So 5:30 and 6 o'clock was likely when we were looking, or it was when we were looking at it because it was before the bigger move down. And what were we looking at? We were looking at, whoops, what the heck is this? We were looking at that money flow in the 30-minute coming down with the 8-hour red dot about to print. Get out of here, malware. Nobody cares. Stop trying to scam. But yeah, we have that red dot printing with that 30-minute money flow coming out, saying if we get that 30-minute money flow crossover, that is likely where we will see the bigger move occur. wound up bringing us down 2.3%, right? And that is where the bigger move drop. That's where the bigger drop down happened. And then we even kind of continued down a little bit more. So my theory here, holding the shorts, right? Hoping for a bigger move down. But if we do get the retracement, I would be looking up potentially, I would just very simply be looking back up into this value area above, right? With your value area low sitting right here, 62,627. And then your POC sitting here at 63,442. And then your value area high is sitting here at 64,540. Mark that out with a horizontal line, right? Excuse me. That'll be what I'm looking at, right? If we get the retracement, this is the range that I will be watching. I'll even get rid of this resistance zone just to kind of clear things up. I'll even hide the time point of control, even though that was the level we were looking to reject. So yeah, get back above this value. This is going to be resistance until proven otherwise, but once you get above this, you could technically look up towards that POC and potentially the value area high. The one thing here is locally, if I go ahead and pull from the high to the low, you can see you do have confluence on that golden pocket and POC, right? So I would hope if we can continue getting lower lows and lower highs here, that would give us that continuation down to the lower prices that we're looking at, potentially bringing us down into that lower range. But again, retrace, I'm looking up here. If we continue down, value area high is the key level to break below in order to see those lower prices come in, where we have the monthly and the POC. Now, what is this? This is 59, 60K. Let me just check the. I want to check the liquidity at about 60K. Let me run this real quick. I'm actually going to run this on a lower time frame. This is the 1 month. Let me run this on the 7-day real quick. All right, let's see. Yeah, 60K does have, 60K. Yeah, right below those lows. We do have liquidity sitting, right? Not only do we have liquidity sitting down below us locally, but yeah, $60,000. So, there is likely some liquidity sitting down here, right? So maybe we break down, sweep that liquidity, and then we get a bounce, and then maybe we come down. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. But really, the plan remains the same, guys. I just always kind of refer back to this picture. We'll see. If we hit 57K, is it going to follow this line perfectly? If we just continue down, this will wind up potentially playing out perfectly. But we'll have to see what happens. Just trading the levels that we see. And again, these levels, obviously we give the trade setups and the confirmations and everything in the premium Discord, but this rejection here at 64K was something we were openly talking about in the market update on Friday. So please, for the love of God, subscribe to the channel, make sure notifications are on, and smash the like button. Otherwise, YouTube will hide us out of your algorithm. If you don't like the videos, it doesn't know that you want to see us, and they'll probably just start, pushing all those ASMR videos and stuff. And for me, all the goat videos. If I don't like videos that I want to see, sometimes the goat videos just come back because I went down a goat rabbit hole a while ago. I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, shout out to you guys. 57K again. Crypto Naughty, I hope not. I really hope not. It would be brutal, right? And you got to just think about what would brutalize the market the worst here, right? And I'll be honest. If we start coming back down to these levels, guys, this would cause mass, I don't want to say panic, but mass frustration, mass anger, mass impatience, right? Especially when on every single pump, everyone calls all-time high, all-time high, all-time high, all-time high, all-time high, right? Everyone just wants up, 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 up. Everyone gets everybody excited. They all feed off the positive sentiment, and price just keeps getting faded, 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 right? And, this could just cause so much pain, and I would really love to see that. And the liquidity points towards that, right? It's not just because I think it would cause the most pain. The liquidity does point there. And again, that's not a guarantee. But, maybe we just come up. This is also another opportunity. And again, I want to see what the daily gives us, right? If we get the daily red dot, which is going to print in another hour and 43 minutes and 15 seconds, right? So we have a little bit of time to print that red dot. If we get that red dot and that 90-minute money flow crosses over into the red, that is my sign where we are probably going to get the pullback back down into this range. At least come sweep this liquidity at 59, maybe slip to 58K. This is potential. Maybe we leave the liquidity at 57K and then we just take off from here. We fake everybody out. The one thing I will say is typically, in order for the magic of my personal TA to work, oftentimes when we see my TA hit the hardest, it is usually when I am calling for something that most people don't want to hear, right? Or calling for something that most people are not looking at. Oftentimes, people look for all-time highs. I'm looking for shorts. People are very scared. We're looking for longs, right? Most recently, when we got this drop down here, right? We were calling for a top up here when everyone was calling alt season all-time highs, right? We got the drop down, and then finally everybody gets bearish, but we're looking for longs. We come up. Everyone was really bullish yesterday, or I'm sorry, just basically into this pump, right? And then what happens? We get the drop down that we're looking at. I'm bearish, everyone's bullish, right? Not everyone, but I'm just saying, like, against the masses, right? And that's really how you want to trade. But here's the thing. I do feel a lot of people open to seeing lower prices now, which makes me think that maybe we don't get it. But again, I'm going to lean on the TA. The TA is still pointing downwards. And again, even if we get a push up here into the golden pocket, does not mean all-time highs, right? I will still be looking for the bigger drop down. But we'll have to see what happens, right? Maybe the bears get faked out this time because now I do see a lot of people kind of feeling like, oh, one last drop, right? And then I have a feeling something's going to pop up on the chart that's going to make me bullish because everyone else is bearish, right? So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Maybe we reclaim, the level to reclaim right now is 62,628. Reclaim that, very simply put, come into this level here, hopefully put in a lower high, and then lose it to lower prices. If not, I will stop out of my shorts, and the longs will keep running. Next targets to the upside, if we do get some random pump to the upside, again, I do think that's the less probable situation here as of right now, immediately. To just break, 66K and come up. That would be the less likely situation in my opinion, but doesn't mean it's impossible. Anything can happen on the charts, but if we do get that move up, next real main target I would be looking at is going to be sitting up here, between 67K, which is the macro POC. I'm not going to pull it up because I've shown it so many times, and then 68,271 at that daily level, right? So really between 67K, I'll just pull it up now, clean up the chart a bit, take off the monthly, pull up the macro range here. And you can see, come on to a higher time frame, macro POC up to the daily at about 68,250. Flip, again, maybe if we get some kind of random push to the upside somehow, flip the POC as the first level at 67K. That gives you a pretty open door up to 68,355. And then once you flip that, that's where I'm looking for the liquidity at 70K. But again, I do think it would probably cause more pain and piss more people off if we were to do something like that. I'm still sticking to my plan here, guys. I'm still sticking to the plan. Again, doesn't mean it's going to play out. I'm happy to get stopped out at break even or in profit and let the longs run. But to me, the charts are saying stick with the plan. I'm going to stick with the plan. And again, maybe we don't make it to 67K, 57K, but we just come sweep these lows, get back in, and then go. We'll see what happens. I will keep you guys updated every single step of the way. But let's see here. So here is the short position that I'm in right now, up about 25%. Again, pretty horrible entry here, to be honest, because I was live with the premium Discord as we actually got that set up. I was not logged into any of my accounts. I couldn't take the trade at that exact moment. Finished the live stream hoping for a bigger retracement. Never got it, but I did get in on a little retracement before the next drop to the downside. Not too bad. Still up, $423. Not too shabby. But it's a funny feeling, right? Like, especially when you have these shorts set up like in the Discord ahead of time, like ready for the move. And then at least the Mafia gets it. But a lot of times I will get that late entry if I am on a stream or something like that. But again, I am still holding some of these trades here on Femex. Yeah, still holding my long from 58K. I mean, this I'm willing to just let stop me out at this point. This is really just to cover me in case we get some shocker move to the upside. But I already have most of my profits locked in on this. Holding the short position up about $1,400 locked in, $1,269 unrealized. This is the short that I would like to kind of compound. If we do get a bigger retracement to the upside, I will simply stop out of this trade, right? Hopefully in profit, if not for a small loss, and then just wait for price to retrace so I can get another entry. But I just do want to kind of point that out, guys. We don't just talk about this stuff. I actually trade what we talk about, right? Like when I say, hey guys, watch for the move to the upside for the short, we are looking for that. And actually it was up here, right? This was really where we were calling for the short on the weekend pump. Obviously I was unable to get that. But we look for the shorts, we take them, right? We don't just talk about this stuff. It is, we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can just come down. I can hold this short and hold my other short. But if not, those will stop out. One will stop out in massive profit. This one will stop out in massive profit. And then this one will probably stop out, depending on what happens, maybe at a small loss, if not in profit. And then the longs will continue to pay us out. So there we go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, let's go ahead and let's see. Shout out to Flat Smack said all the lost keys in the hurricane will cause a supply shock. Oh God. Yeah. That is that like an actual story? Did people lose? Did someone did a whale lose their Bitcoin keys in the hurricane? Let me know. Shout out to Flat Smack. Speaking of Flat Smack that like button, guys. If you are finding value in this content, or if we helped you make any money over the past few weeks. Phantom, yeah, we can take a look at Phantom. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. Shout out to All Set. You memorize your seed phrases. That is absolutely savage. If you remember your seed phrase, that's absolutely savage. That is ultimate security. But yeah, guys, drop those altcoins in the chat. We'll start taking a look at Ethereum here. And then, maybe don't spam the altcoins. Go ahead. Spam the altcoins. Shout out to Captain Kirk in the chat. What is going on? Good to see you. But yeah, spam the alts in the chat. And then Cap or Rob, I don't know. I think Rob is still here. If you guys could we'll do like 3 requests. And then maybe I'll just freestyle. Maybe I'll just freestyle a bunch of them. Shout out to Retro Mike Tech says, Frankie Candles, I lost a bunch of older private keys in a tornado in 2018. Lots of holds between 2014 and 2018 lost. No way, dude. RMT, that is insane, dude. That is insane. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. That is horrible. Shout out to Rag Capital says, October is canceled. Frankie, say it ain't so. I think it's too soon to call that. It really depends on how fast we see these moves, right? And again, guys, please, you have to remove as much emotion. I'm not saying you have emotion. I'm just saying in general, to help, what helped me a lot, right? Remove emotion, right? And hopefully all these ups and downs help you kind of see the importance of removing emotion out of your trading, right? You get the drop down to 58K, right? Let's just say we get that, right? You don't want this to shake you out of your bags if there's no reason to be looking for a massive bear market, right? Again, in my opinion, there's really no reason. I shouldn't say there's no reason not to break out, but I'll just say this, right? If we're going to break out, I think it's going to come fast. I think it's going to come fast, and I think it's probably going to come somewhat soon, right? It's impossible to say, and I always bring up this example, right? If I hide some of this TA, bada boom, right? If we take a look at this, 161 days from the halving to the kind of real impulse up on Bitcoin in the last bull market, right? We are literally at, let me actually pull up the halving here. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, weekly. Let me pull up Bitstamp so we can get those halvings marked out. Yeah, we are at 168 days. So I do think that if we are going to break out, it is probably going to be fast. It is probably going to be a surprise. It's probably going to be shocking. But I also think that now is not the time to get overly emotional about the market. I will say that. It is not the time to get overly emotional about the market, right? Because if you were, let's say we came down to 58K, people get scared out of that. That could be where we start to lift off, right? That could be where we go for the highs. Now, again, I don't know if that means 100K, but it would probably mean, right, if we sweep the liquidity below 58K and we get the push up here, that is easily, once we start getting above that trend line, right after we get, once we get above that POC at 67K, right? This is where the move up to 70 to 74K really starts to come into effect or into the cards, right? Until we get above that, we got to get above that, right? Who knows? Price action's confusing. Price action loves to freak people out, right? Maybe something super unexpected. Anything can happen. Here's the thing, guys. We might call these moves, hey, guys, I think we're going to this level, then coming down to bounce off here, go back up there. We can call these levels really well, right? But that does not mean that the market can't do what it wants. Even though the only reason we're able to call these moves, even if I pull up the Discord one more time, again, I don't say this to brag. Before I say the market can do anything, I want to show that TA is also very effective. We caught the long here, right into a final take profit, right up into the short setup above. And now that is playing out, right? So you can call these moves and make money in these moves very accurately. But this is not 100% of the time, right? the market, although it was likely that we could have bounced here and then came up and then rejected here. We thought that was likely, so we played that game, right? We played that plan. It worked out. It doesn't work out 100% of the time. The market could have done a million different things there, right? The market could have come up here and then blasted above these high. It could have done anything, right? So it's all just a game of probabilities. What is the highest probability outcome, not the guaranteed outcome? So for me, I just think a wash at 58K is probably likely. Whether that gives us a move up to, once we come back up, we have to assess the situation. If we go to 58K and we start getting a push up, we're probably going to come into these resistance levels between 66 and 68K. What happens here? We could come up here and reject, right? Or what we would like to see is a flip of this to support and then come take the liquidity above 70,000, right? But we don't know what could happen, right? Maybe you come up here, you don't hit 68K, you bounce off 67K, and then you go to, you don't know. But the bottom line here is, guys, I do think that if we're going to take off, it's going to happen somewhat soon. Not tomorrow. It might not be tomorrow. It might not be the next day. It might not be next week. It might not be in a month, right? But it's going to be, in the grand scheme of things, somewhat soon, right? And whether that looks like this, we wake up tomorrow and we're in a big pump, or if it looks like sweep 58K and then come up, or it looks like, oh my God, Black Swan event down to 40K and then up. I do think this is eventually going to be the trajectory we're going. And I don't think it's the time to panic out of the market. And I don't think it's the time to really care about the little ebbs and flows in the market, right? I think it's time to really lock in. And here's the thing. I'm going to pull up Celestia. I'm going to start the altcoins here with Celestia, guys, because I'll tell you what, I am probably, full disclosure, I have not bought yet. I own Celestia, right? But I have not bought again yet. I'm just saying, when I look at this chart, this is very similar to what Bitcoin looked like back in the day, back in the glory days, back in, what are we doing here? Macro VP, back in the glory days, right? When we had our lower range, our bear market range, where we came down, we accumulated down here, right? And then we were looking for Bitcoin to break out of this range, hit that value area low, We knew once we broke above this level, we were likely going to the POC and then the value area high. And then once we flipped that value area high, we knew we could potentially go to higher prices. That's where you broke the all-time high. Absolutely beautiful analysis there. Beautiful play out of the technicals. However, I see a very big similarity between this and Celestia. Let me pull it up. What is going on here? Why did that happen? This computer is absolute garbage. Anyway, I don't know why I said that like a news anchor, but this looks very similar to Celestia in my own personal opinion. If we pull this up and we pull up, hang on, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. We're going to show this because we showed it. Where are we? Do I have the macro volume profile right here, right? This looks very similar to Tia. Ah, come on. Stop trolling me. Stop trolling me, guys. I'm getting trolled. I'm getting trolled by TradingView here, guys. But this looks very similar, guys. Very simply put. Weekly here. Weekly here. You have your bull market range, right? This is not really a bull market range for Celestia. Very simply put, because this is not 2021. This was in 2023 and 2024. But that doesn't mean the structures aren't very similar. Come on. Let me see. Neutral, right? So this, to me, is very similar. Let me close this. These look very similar structure-wise, right? Very similar. I could give Celestia a little bit more time to make it look a little cleaner here, right? This looks very similar to me, where we have a little bull market range. We got broken down into a bear market, right? This isn't traditional cycle-wise. Bull market range, drop down into the bear market accumulation. Bull market range, even though it's not really the bull market. Bear market, even though it's not the bear market, accumulation range. Once we wind up, how much lower was Bitcoin going to go at this point? We had weekly bullish divergences. We had money flow coming up on the weekly. Some very, very similar things happening here on Celestia. We have 5-day bullish divergence, 6-day bullish divergences, weekly bullish divergences. Now, we don't have any money flow information on Celestia because it's a little bit newer. We don't have the price history for that, but this could be good, guys. This is very, very structurally the same as this kind of setup on Bitcoin. And what happened when Bitcoin came up and tapped its value area low a few times, we eventually got the blast off of what we expected above that value area low into the macro POC, into the macro value area high and beyond. We could potentially see something like that happen. Now, I'm not saying this is going to break out tomorrow or the next day. I'm just saying, here's the bottom line is I am probably going to be buying a good bit of Celestia down here. Now, I am not telling you to buy Celestia just because I did. I'm not telling you this is guaranteed to go up. Who knows? This could go to zero. I don't know, right? I am just a chart guy, right? Now, we might call it right most of the time, but, I am probably going to buy Celestia, if not tonight. I'm going to start DCAing into this, right? Probably pretty heavily, right? That doesn't mean I'm going to hold it till zero if we start dumping, but this looks good for me. This looks good for me, not for you. I'm not a financial advisor. You have to make your own financial decisions. I'm just some crazy guy screaming on YouTube, but I'm buying Celestia. I'm just going to say that. I haven't bought it yet. I mean, I bought it a while ago, but I'm going to be buying some extra Celestia here. So take that for what it's worth. I just like to share with what I'm doing because what I've done has worked for me, and hopefully that insight can help it work for you. Let's see. Shout out to Ahmed, said on the daily, Bitcoin is making a cup and handle, so can BTC pump? Let's go back to Bitcoin real quick. Not in bar replay mode, not Bitcoin in 2023. Let's go to current Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the daily cup and handle. Now, I don't trade patterns. I will take them into account. I don't know. I just feel like for every cup and hand, I don't know. I don't know. I don't trade. I guess you're looking at this. Shout out to Ahmed. Maybe. Yeah. You can look at it, I don't know, head and shoulders. Not really, actually. Yeah, not really. I don't know. I assume this is what you're looking at, right? And then you would get a breakout like that. Something like that. I don't know. If Bitcoin did pump, I wouldn't think it would be based off the cup and handle. I would use the cup and handle to kind of confirm a bullish bias that I already have. But I don't really trade based off this stuff. So I wouldn't look for a pump because of a cup and handle because there are tons of cup and handles that don't play out, right? For me, patterns are just a way to describe price action, right? It's not the reason that there's a pump or not. It's if it was, and I speak from experience, right? Like when I first started trading, trust me, the first thing I ran into was a bunch of gurus talking about trading patterns, right? Now, again, I'm not saying patterns can't work. I'm not saying patterns don't indicate potential continuations, right? I trade triangles, I trade pennants, right? But I don't trade those alone, right? I use those as like a bias. I already am bullish, and then it starts, the price action starts to form in a bullish pattern, like a pennant or something like that. I will take that into account, right? But I am not seeing a bull pennant and then longing, right? I need other confirmations other than the bull pennant, because a lot of times what happens with these is they will fake out all the retail is going, oh my God, bull pennant, right? All the retail piles in longs here, right? And their stop losses have to go where? They have to go underneath the bull pennant, right? This is how the market maker gets you, right? Let me explain this for anybody new to the channel. If you are out there trading patterns, I'm not saying, the statistical probability of a bull pennant breaking up rather than down is probably, I don't know the percentage. It's a little bit more likely to break to the upside. But this is, as a trading strategy alone, I fell into this trap, right, when I was and again, I'm not saying they don't work, and I'm not saying you can't trade them. I'm just saying they're pretty difficult to trade, and they are definitely not as easy to trade as some people will make you think. Because what happens here is it's one of the most simple and most popular retail strategies, right? Like you get into a trading as a beginner, you find patterns, you think like, oh, hey, I could just look at the chart, find this shape, and then make money. You might get lucky once in a while, but it's not a real good, sustainable way to make money, in my opinion. Alone. You can use these to help you, but not alone, right? Because what happens is all the retail sees this bull pennant, right? And they may all be flooding into long positions. And if they're all flooding into long positions, what happens to their stop loss? Their stop loss is probably going to be below the pennant somewhere, right? Or below a previous low, right? So these people probably have their stop loss here. People entering here probably have their stop loss below this low, right? And then these people probably have them below this low or this low, right? And then what happens here is you start to build up a ton of liquidity below the pennant. And what price oftentimes likes to do is take out all those stops and cause a dump rather than a pump. And then this is oftentimes a situation where you'll see a pennant do something like this, where it'll dump down and then it will just play out, right? And you need to be looking at other things to anticipate if that's happening, right? So rather than just looking at the pennant, for me, if I'm trading a pennant, instead of me just saying, hey, there's a pennant, I'm going to wait for a breakout and a retest and a long, because sometimes pennants will do this, right? Oftentimes, a lot of times they do that, right? And there's a lot more that goes into what makes a pump than just a shape, right? So I have to be looking at something else to identify, are there a lot of longs entering here? Are there a lot of shorts entering here? Is there more liquidity below? Is there more liquidity above? Are we more likely to get a sweep here and a dump there? There's other things I'd like to look at. So that's just a quick explanation. Again, I will use bull pennants. There's been times where we've looked for pumps based off bull pennants, right? Like you could scroll back on the chart and find many cases where a bull pennant plays out. And that's just the nature of a bullish market, right? Like move up, bada boop. Like right here, this is a perfect example. This was actually a short squeeze. Right? So we identified this. I always go back to this example because it's a perfect example of a bull pennant not playing out, right? Now, did it break to the upside? Sure. But what really happened here was that there were a lot of shorts opening above here, right? Everybody was bearish on the market, right? But what happened was we were able to identify that there were more people shorting up here, but the spot market, right, just people buying and holding the asset, that CVD showing us if people are buying or selling more, right? CVD, very simply put, is a line graph that shows you if more people are buying or more people are selling, right? So we were able to, I'm not going to go over the whole thing. I have a video on the channel explaining you how to read CVD and how to trade what we traded here. I think I use this as an example in the video. But we identified this as a short squeeze. We knew there was a lot of liquidity above here. And if price kept pushing higher and higher and higher, we were probably going to liquidate and stop out all those shorts. And what happens when you get stopped out of a short position? You have to buy back your position, right? So it creates a market buy. So once all these shorts, it's the same situation as I just showed as an example, but the opposite, right? We had people shorting up here, right? Tons of people shorting, right? And we were able to use other things to identify that there were a lot of shorts up here, right? A lot of shorts opening here. And we knew that there was a lot of liquidity above, making it very likely that this was going to break to the upside, but likely not be sustainable. It was likely to be a short squeeze and then a continuation to the downside, right? For a bull pennant to really play out, what you want is a continuation, right? You want it to be a bullish continuation pattern, right? So you want it to be like pump, breakout, right? You want it to be a continuation, not a fake out and then a dump. So this is an example of a pretty textbook bull pennant breaking up and then coming right back down. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. That's why I don't really trade patterns alone. So for me, like I wouldn't just see the cup and handle in long. And for me, now it doesn't mean that the cup and handle can't break out. But I just don't view it like that. I just don't view it as like cup and handle is why we broke out. Because for me, there's a lot more to the market than that. Just in general. So shout out to I forgot who asked me that. I forget who asked me that. I was a long-winded answer. But I don't. That's not what I would look at for a pump. So yeah, we'll have to see. Doesn't mean we can't pump, but we'll see what happens. And also, I don't know if that's really I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on that, to be quite honest. So there you go. That's a little insight into me on how I trade patterns. Let's see. On a bigger time frame, I think he said daily, right? I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, he said on the daily. Oh, is he talking about this maybe? Yeah, I mean, if we break out in hindsight, it'll be a cup and handle that broke out. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can look at that as a cup and handle. I mean, you can find cup and handles anywhere, I guess. But yeah, maybe that's what. Shout out to who was it? I forgot who it was. Oh, Ahmed. It was me. Shout out to Ahmed. Is that what you meant? Did you mean the bigger one, or did you mean that smaller one that I just looked at? But I don't know. To me, I don't know. I don't really look at patterns. I'm probably the wrong guy to ask, to be honest with you. But yeah. Let's see. Yo, shout out to I don't know how to say your name. I'm gonna call you T. He says, honestly, I'm so broke. All I want to hear about is Bitcoin. Hoping it'll make me money soon, or make me some money. Shout out to you, bro. Well, hey, if you stick around here, you don't even need to wait for it to go up because we can make money as it is going down as well. So Ahmed, potentially, I think you might be talking about the bigger one. The smaller one. Okay, yeah, potentially that could break us out. I don't know. But yeah, I think really for me, if we were to break out here, it would. I don't know. I am definitely favoring more downside, but again, doesn't mean we can't break out. We'll have to see. Ahmed, be here tomorrow, and we'll find out if this breaks to the upside. And we'll see if it was a legitimate, a deep bottom cup. Shout out to Eugene Sky. Deep bottom cup. We do love deep bottoms here. We like fluffy bottoms, big bottoms, puffy bottoms, bubbly bottoms. Anyway, All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Tony Rowe, I said, Frankie, sweep that leg, baby. Let's go. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on here. So, yeah, we took a look at Celestia. I'm just going to get, like, that's just the basic TA here, in my own personal opinion, guys, is, this does, I don't know how much lower this is going to be. So, I don't know how much lower this is going to go. So, I will probably be DCing into, whether we come back down, I'm okay buying, I'm okay buying, I'm okay buying, okay buying, okay buying, okay buying, okay buying, right? Buying within this range for an eventual breakout, right? Hopefully to much, much, much higher prices. We'll have to see what happens. But that's kind of my analysis here because, again, daily money flow back in the green, even if that comes back, 2-day money flow has been in the red for quite some time. 3-day money flow starting to come back up. So, again, doesn't mean we can't come back down, but I am happy to accumulate in here. So there you go. Let's go ahead and shout out to Nirvana said, how long have you been in trading, Frankie? Shout out to Nirvana. I guess it depends on how you define being in trading. Because, to be honest, I've been involved and interested in trading for a very, very long time. I would not consider myself an expert or like a legitimate profitable trader for a lot of that, right? Becoming profitable, right? Making money trading takes a very long time to get. It takes a very long time to gain that skill, right? I'm not going to tell my whole origin story right now. I've said it a bunch of times on the channel. But I've been interested in chart analysis and trading ever since I was in high school. Junior year in high school, I guess I was 17 maybe. It was when I was 17 or 18 maybe. Downloaded my first stock market simulator, started trying to learn how to read the charts, and that's where I found patterns, right? And I thought those worked for a really long time. And again, I wasn't serious about it back then. I was just interested. But I've been interested in it in a very long time. I would say once I got into crypto, 2016, 2017, 2018 is really when I started taking it more serious, and I really started to put in the time, hiding my laptop from my boss while I was trying to trade and look at the charts at work. So yeah, basically starting right where you guys, a lot of you guys probably are right now. But yeah, it really depends on how you define that. I could just sit up here and be like, I've been trading since high school, but that's just disingenuous, right? I had no idea what I was doing. I was not making money or anything like that. So, but yeah, that's basically kind of how I would say 20. Yo, shout out to Dave Digital. He says, I don't know if he's talking about me. Yeah, just in high school trying to learn the charts like a nerd. I wish I had my glasses up here. I don't think I do though. Otherwise, I put them on for you, Dave. Shout out to you. But yeah, shout out to Golden. Said nerd alert. Let's go. Shout out to Golden. Welcome in, bro. Good to see you. Golden, where are you? Are you in Europe? Are you in Italy? Are you in where are you, bro? Bali? We know you're out there living your life, bro. We know you're out there living your best life. But yeah. Shout out to 12 Big. What is going on, bro? Yo, shout out to Funk. Yo, shout out to Funk. Oh, God, you gotta be careful. You guys crack me up, bro. I don't even know how to respond to that. He's in Europe. Golden's in Europe. Let's go. Where is Frankie Khalifa? Oh, my God. Shout out to Wig 589. Shout out to Azar. I don't know how to say your name. I apologize if I butchered that. He said, what basics should we start off with if we want to learn TA and trading? Thanks, bro. Much appreciated. Shout out to you, man. We have our beginner series. Gonna try to be dropping the next video tomorrow. It might be a couple days out. But start with the beginner series. And listen, understand how to set up a trading view chart. Understand how to read candlesticks. And you can search all this on my channel. We have all these videos for free. Start in the beginner series. There's only a couple videos in there right now. But start there and then move your way into the rest of the content, right? Time frames, how to read candlesticks, support and resistance. Don't overwhelm yourself, right? Start with the basics. I even have videos on trading patterns, right? And how you traditionally trade patterns. Yeah, volume profiles is probably one of the biggest things that I would recommend you look at. I have a ton of content on that. We teach it almost every single day here on the live stream. So yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on here. And let's see. That is way more than 3, but thank you, Tony. I appreciate you. We're probably not going to get through all these, but I will go ahead and take a look at AVAX. I see a lot of people asking for AVAX. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so On AVAX, I would say, let's see, this is 2021. Okay, so I would probably, let me go ahead and pull up the monthly here real quick. So your next big level of resistance, in my opinion, is going to be sitting right here, 36.02. We have a horizontal monthly. You also have another one up here at about 54.06. And then you got the support down here at about 22.81. So that would, yeah, this would kind of be, let me see, did we get a significant bounce? Yeah, so we came down to the full 786 retracement. Yeah, if you get back above this golden pocket, I would look for about $36 at the monthly, 54.06 as the next bigger stop to the upside. But I'm going to come down here to a lower time frame to give a bit more confluence or context, I should say. Come on, bada boom, bada bing. So this is kind of what I would look at locally, right? I got to go to Best Buy. Hopefully they don't close before I get there. I need a new mouse, guys. My mouse is broken. And I'm using, guys, look at this puny mouse I'm using. Look at this little mouse. Look at this. Guys, this is, the live stream is being made with this tiny little laptop portable mouse. This is brutal, guys. This is brutal. I'm going to get like a bulletproof metal mouse that will never break again. It's broken. It's broken. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. So, yeah, this is kind of the next significant area of value. You're kind of chopping around here, to be quite honest with you. I would say, you know, you're kind of playing around in here. I would say generally you want to get back up into this range. Actually, I think we have this exact AVAX chart already marked out. Yeah, I think this is what we were looking at yesterday. I actually like this one better. So, and let me just mark out those monthlies real quick. Boom. Boom. Okay, so yeah, this is what I like this outlook better here. So you're kind of bing-bonging around here. Again, like you're just kind of playing around in this range. But really what you want to do is you got to break above the doorway to higher prices, right? We have labeled this a while ago, 32.21. Get above that value area high, get above the doorway to higher prices. That's your move to 36.02. So right now, your biggest level right now is 31.38, in my own personal opinion. Daily money flow back in the green. That's not looking too bad. 2-day green money flow crossover. VWAP coming up. Like, again, guys, a lot of these altcoins don't look horrible. Now, again, can we get one more drop? Sure, maybe. But I'll be honest, like, these money flow crossovers take time to play out. These VWAPs even take time to play out on the higher time frames. But I'll be honest, like, this is not looking, right? I always say this. In order to see a big move down, really what you want to see is the opposite of what we're seeing now, right? Like, in order to get a massive drop to the downside from here, now, again, I'm not saying we can't get that on a black swan or something like that, but in order to see a huge move down, really, you want to see the opposite of what we're seeing. We had a big drop down, right? A big move down of about, you know, I'm not going to pull it. I guess we could pull it from the high here, right? From the high, we have dropped all the way down about 73%. This is not 73% down from the all-time high in 2021. This is 73% down from the local top in 2024. Huge drop to the downside, right? This is almost like a bear market in itself. And you have a nice deep money flow wave in the red here on the 2-day. If we wanted a massive drop down, you would simply want to see the opposite. You would want to see a green wave crossing into the red. This would make me much more... What would we be looking for here, guys? If this was a green money flow wave about to cross into the red. Let me hear it, Mafia. I know you guys know. That's right. We'd be looking for lackluster pumps for lower highs and continuations of the trend to the downside. If this were the case and a green money flow wave was crossing into the red, your boy Frankie Candles would be sitting up here saying, I don't know, I think we can come down to lower prices. But that's not what we're seeing. We are literally seeing the opposite. Money flow coming into the green. So again, does it mean you can't drop down again? No. You could come down again, right? But in the grand scheme of things here, I would be more willing to look for lackluster pullbacks to put in higher lows and continuations to the upside, right? So this doesn't look that bad to me. Again, you could dump again, but overall, if I were looking to buy AVAX, which I may or may not be, I would be looking to buy here. If we dump down a little bit, I would buy a little bit more. I'll be honest. Unless we get a black swan event, which who knows if that happens. Because here's the thing, guys. If we pull Bitcoin back up, which is continuing to pull back, if we pull up Bitcoin here real quick, let's just take a look at this. We could compare it to 2019, right? This is like kind of what we look for. Like if we were comparing this to 2019, we would have to say to ourselves, what happened in 2019? Well, we had the 2017 bull market. We had the bear market come in, the bear market low, come in at about $33,000, right, ish. And then we had a massive rally. We didn't break the all-time high, but we had a massive rally, right? But what was that massive rally? That massive rally was very simply a golden pocket retracement. And if we were looking at price here, we would be looking at this as a very, very, very strong level of resistance. What happens? We come down and surprise, surprise, black swan event, right? And then we finally flip that 786 before going to all-time highs. Is this the same situation we're in right now? Well, very simply put, making a new all-time high kind of puts a wrench in that whole scenario. Because if we pull from the all-time high, the same fib, all the way to the bear market low, what are we doing right now? Well, we rejected the golden pocket on the ETF approval, but we didn't get the trend down and a black swan back down to the lows, right? Like in 2019 or 2020. But what happened? We came into the golden pocket. We flipped the golden pocket. We broke the 786, and we are now trying to flip the 786 into support. If we stay above the 786, that would invalidate the idea of getting stuck under that and then coming back down for a massive black swan. If we were going to see a massive black swan similar to 2020, which was a golden pocket retracement for a lower high and another drop down before finally getting the higher low and continuing up, like this is different, right? Because we made a new all-time high. We're above the 786. Now, if we started, like maybe if you pull up, like not even the monthly, right? Like we're closing monthly candles above that 786. So in my opinion, it's much different, right? Now, if we were in a situation where we were doing something like this, right? And we were, struggling at this golden pocket like crazy, and, there was an election and potential black swan, scenarios popping in at this golden pocket, this would look like 2020, right? Where it's like, hey, maybe we just come down from here and then we get the black swan before finally going off into the bull run. That would look like 2019 or 2020, where you go into the macro golden pocket, you get the pullback for a slightly higher low, and then the rip. But we're in a different situation right now. It's just different. So, yeah. This time is different. Not this time is different, we're going to $1 million. Just this time is just factually different. I don't know what that means, right? But anyway, let's see. Shout out to Tony D. Said you could go on Amazon and have a mouse delivered by 10 a.m. tomorrow. Shout out to Tony D. My Amazon got hacked, so I don't have Amazon anymore. I got to get a new Prime account. It's actually a true story. But anyway, shout out to Tony D. I could probably just use Mrs. Candles, though. Thank you for that. Shout out to Tony D. Keeping us alive and well here. Shout out to Greg in the chat. What is going on? Shout out to Jesse. Jesse says, Civic Monthly. Civic. Is that like a Honda coin? Civic Monthly. Oh, baby. Green dot printing. Woohoo, baby. I don't know what this is. Is this a meme coin? What is this? What is Civic? Shout out to Jesse. It does have a green monthly. Monthly green dot. Nice trigger wave here. Not a lot of information to go off, to be quite honest. Weekly coming down a little bit. 4-day looking for the red dot. But that monthly doesn't look bad. 2-day money flow crossover. I mean, a lot of the altcoins. I don't know what this is. Again, let me know, Jesse. Let me know what this is in the chat. But again, like accumulation, money flow crossovers. We'll see what happens. Shout out to Jesse, bro. Thank you for the super chat, man. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to New World Disorder. Says, I just found a loose Solana I forgot I had. Yo, shout out to you, bro. Finding that free money. It's like finding coins in your couch cushions. And shout out to Real Infinity Crypto. Said, hey, Frankie, Brad from Infinite Crypto here would love to have you as a guest on my channel, my friend. Shout out to Real Infinite Crypto. Bro, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. We have not really been doing a lot of collabs lately, but I've been saying this forever because it is the truth, but I guess the truth hasn't been soon. I keep saying we're going to get back to collabs very soon, but we are actually getting back to collabs very, very soon. Hit up Tony D, at Tony D. I'll send you one, send me link. Shout out to Tony D. Yeah, get in touch with Tony D, and we will try to work something out, bro. I appreciate the invite. And yeah, like I said, we're going to get back to collabs pretty soon here. So, yeah. How's your missus doing, Frankie? Shout out to Toragato. She's very, very well. Very shiny still with the plastic skin and everything. She's doing well, though. I just reinflated her up. She's nice and puffy. It's great. It's good. Shout out to Torgato. Awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, shout out to Real Infinite Crypto. I appreciate you, man. Let's see. Okay. Matt adds, it's Market Cipher B. I missed that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at our next altcoin, guys. It's going to be Rune. Let's check a look at Rune. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, here we are. Beautiful rotation, right? This is obviously old news, but obviously, just like I always like to reiterate how these volume profiles work from the value area low to the POC, back to the low, back to the POC, back to the highs. Speaking of the misses, guys, Mrs. Candles, come show those plastic hands. Get them in here, Mrs. Candles. Let's go. I'm running out of breath here. You look like a shy. You walked up like a nervous puppy. Whoa! Don't poke it. Oh God, they smell good today, Mrs. Candles. Woo, baby. Let me see one more. Give me one more. Give me one. I'm getting a little tired. We got to finish up the stream here. Okay. Anyway, guys, sorry, got a little out of hand there. I actually pitched you pretty hard. Shout out to Mrs. Candles. There she is. The CandleMafia was just asking about you. How are you doing? Oh, she said I heard her hand. Sorry, Mrs. Candles. Love you. Anyway, let's continue on here. Is that a hand? Is that a hand fetish? Yo, shout out to Torgato. But yeah, guys, volume profile being respected pretty beautifully here. Rejection from the low, from the high, back to the POC, back to the low, and now we have deviated below that low. And we have now reclaimed that value area low. So right now, this is the doorway to lower prices still, right? And I don't remember the last time we looked at Rune. It has been quite some time. But this is the doorway to lower prices. Even when we slip it slightly, it's like, oh no. And then you get back above. So doorway to lower prices, 372. There's those Mrs. Candles hands. Let's go. Spiked baby oil mandatory. Oh God, I gotta stop sniffing Mrs. Candle's hands on stream. This is not good. This is not good. I was able to smell the perfume. It was really amazing. Yeah, I don't know what that smell was, or some kind of soap. That was good. I kind of need to. I think I need some more hand sniffs here. Let's go. Fun fact, guys, those emojis are actually a picture of Mrs. Candle's real hand. It's not an emoji. It's a real hand. Anyway, so yeah, we held below the low here. This is nice, right? So next major level of resistance to me would be that POC. Can we get a flip of that POC to support to see that value area high come in at 1018? Potentially. 2-day money flow, not looking too bad. VWAP also coming up. So I would think that there is probably a pretty good likelihood of at least. Now, again, do we get another push down or something like that? I don't know. But that POC at 629, almost 630 is somewhat likely here if we print that green dot on the 2-day. So once we get that green dot on the 2-day, I'd be looking up towards the POC where maybe we can kind of bing bong around a little bit. But once we reclaim, that's where I'd look for the bigger move up. Again, to 1018. So this doesn't look that bad. Daily money flow in the green, pretty thick here. 3-day money flow coming up. 4-day money flow in the green. Yeah, man, I really hope that we don't just have like sideways bore, guys. Like if it's just boring like this, I might go on vacation for a little bit. Hopefully we could just get out of here. Go, pump, bull market. Let's go. October, give it to us, baby. Give it to us. Let's see. What has happened in the past previous Octobers after the halvings? I actually want to take a look at that, right? Because is it typically just that's the cheapest? So let's see. Halving, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, I mean, that's just halving, 161 days, bull market. Bull true. If you guys know what game that's from, you're an OG. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, guys. Like, we are not seeing anything that is unlikely. That is uncommon. Like, even going all the way back to 2012. Sideways consolidation, bing bong. 2016 halving. For the most part, sideways consolidation for about 175 days. How long were we going sideways here for before we wound up really going? 56-ish days. 175 days, essentially sideways, and then bing bong. Sideways, bing bong. Sideways, bing bong. Right? Like, is that 4-year cycle just going to play out again? That would be insane. That would be absolutely insane. Shout out to Justin. Somebody get that guy out of here. Shout out to Justin. I'm just kidding. He made me laugh. Shout out to Justin says, it's not Frankie Candle. It's not Frankie's Candle. Oh, he said it's, yeah, it is what I thought he said. He said it's Frankie's Candle, not Frankie Candles. That's my subscription. That's my other subscription account, guys. You gotta pay to get onto Frankie's Candle. Anyway, shout out to Justin. Don't actually ban him. I just want to say ban him because that was federally hilarious. Shout out to Justin. Unbelievable. Oh, God. That's going to be a new thing. Shout out to Justin. You just started something I can guarantee you that is never going to go away. Frankie's Candle is now going to be the new thing. So shout out to Justin, bro. Smash that like button for Frankie's Candle. Frankie Candles. Oh, God. Shout out to Gen Z. Said, do you have special for TradingView? If it is, I'm not 100% sure. Shout out to Gen Z. I assume you mean, do we have a discount for TradingView? I think we used to. I don't know if we still do. If we do, it's on FrankieCandlesTrading.com under the deals section. Go there and check that out. There, it should be updated. I'm not 100% sure, though. You have to double check it. Or maybe Tony D can answer that question. Candles only. Oh, my God. All right, let's continue on here. We took a look at Rune. We took a look at AVAX. Thank you, Tony Deb. Man, this guy does not miss. Okay, there we go. We'll take a quick look at INJ. God, try to catch Tony slipping, guys. It's impossible. Not catch him slipping. Try to get Tony, like, man, I feel bad for taking Tony from what he was doing previously to come work with me. And because whoever he was working for lost, I could promise you, the most effective human being that they ever had. Tony is one of the most efficient, effective people, hardest workers I've ever seen in my life. Insane. He doesn't miss. Oh, God. Hey, Tony, can you do this? Oh, I already figured you'd ask me this, so I did it 2 weeks ago. Okay. That's literally how the day goes, guys. Go get you with Tony D. He's invaluable. All right, let's see here. INJ. Probably going to $1 bazillion, to be quite honest. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. Let's see. I'll be honest. I don't know. I'm going to give you an upper target here, an upper range. This thing breaks out again. Could be. Let's see here. Let's pull up the daily. So, here's the thing. It's kind of wonky. So, yeah, like this is your lower range. Like this is pretty much your area of value right now that you're currently in. Your goal is to get into this area of value because this area of value is the one that will open you up to potentially getting a breakout to higher prices, potentially pulling you up to about $62 to $77. I didn't mean to draw it that high. Coincidentally, it did bring it up to that next extension level, which is in the hundreds. I'm not looking at that just yet, though. Now, the question is, does this look as good as all the other things? And, you're coming back into the red on the 2-day a little bit. Little fake out into the green on the 2-day. That doesn't look the best. Yeah, I would be playing this area of value. So I'll give you this range. Value area low, 1814. POC, 2312. Value area high, 2711. Shout out to 7-Eleven. Dang, I miss having 7-Elevens around. Shout out to New York. All right, let's see. Bada boom. All right, so value area low above. This isn't even really a doorway to higher prices. This is like just kind of a resistance zone. This is a very small range. But I would say break above 33.89. I mean, let me pull up the VPVR on this real quick. Let's see here. Come on, volume. There you go. Yeah, I mean, you break out of here, 33.50 is very likely. Crack 27, 33.50 is very likely, in my opinion. Get back in there. You probably bing-bong around, and then, you break above this 786 here. This is go time, right? Like, break above that 786, probably all-time highs at between $62 and $77. Market cipher, as far as just general sentiment here, it's a little choppy. I don't really feel comfortable picking a direct direction. You have a daily red dot printing. 90-minute money flow in the red. So, yeah, I would be looking at this as your local range. Between 1814, 2312, and 2711. But, not really any good setup here in my opinion. Also, is this... Yeah, it's kind of in a similar situation, right, as some of the other stuff, right? Like you have the big rally up into these. You get a big, like, what is this? 75% dump on the alts, right? Like maybe not the worst place to pick some up. One thing is you start losing these lows, you are at risk of getting a mega dump, in my opinion, right? Like huge volume gap here. Come on, volume. Huge volume gap here. You lose this low, like this is, mommy, please hold me. Because, honestly, please hold me up, right? Because if you break this level, very, very likely, and to be honest, like, you don't even really want to be flirting with this value area low. Like, you want to stay away from this value area low. Because if you come down here and you start losing this level, you could get a quick nuke down to about $8.14. Big low volume gap here. Big level. Watch that. But again, in my opinion, right, like unless we get some kind of a black swan event, like what is this? This is August 5th? Yeah. Like, I mean, I just don't know what's going to bring us down there. You would need some kind of, black swan event or something. And then maybe, oh my God, right? And then people will see this, right? Let's pretend. I'm not saying we're going to get a black swan event, but let's pretend, guys. Mafia, let's do this together. Pretend for a second that we get a black swan event. This is likely where we're going to go. Right? And people are like, oh my God, we're going to zero. Oh my God, it's never going to. But then you look back at this analysis that we did, and you're like, oh my God, wait a second. We just lost the mommy hold me up, please video, mommy hold me up, please level. And we got to fall through the gap to the high volume node. The TA will always show you where price is going before any news moves the price, in my opinion. Black Swan's a little different because if it really comes out of nowhere, not even though, even if it comes out of nowhere, it's like, usually there are signs on the chart. Before 2020 happened, there were signs to be short on Bitcoin before the news came out. So with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I don't think this was a short one. Yeah, let's see. Let me just do a quick little check-in on Bitcoin here. So, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin brutal. It's brutal, guys. We're just kind of like squeezing sideways here. Money flow on the 90-minute, looking to cross over into the red. Did we or are we going to get that red dot on the daily? We got 48 minutes to print that red dot on the daily. If we start printing that and that 90-minute money flow starts crossing over into the red, it could be a sign that we are going to get the bigger drop to the downside. So watch that, guys. I'm sticking to my plan. I'm not guaranteeing that we come down to 58K, but that is currently what I am trading, right? I'm looking to hold the shorts at least to a final TP of about 58 to 57K to go grab that liquidity for all the reasons that I brought up in the beginning of the stream. I'm sticking to that plan. If it doesn't play out, which is 100% a possibility, I can't stand up here and say that my plan is definitely going to play out because I'm the best, right? Oftentimes it does, but we have to keep an open mind to the opposite happening. So, maybe it doesn't play out. I will simply get stopped out in profit on a lot of my short, or maybe even on a small loss, but those longs will continue to pay us out. But we'll see. Is that short going to play out? at least to 60, 59 to 58K? Let's find out. Let me know in the chat if you guys think that, or drop it in the comments down below. I don't know if you can comment on a live stream, but drop it in the comments. Let me know if that short's going to play out or if we're going to rip up to 100K tomorrow. Let me know in the comments and the chat. And with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Oh, shout out to Mike Clarkson. We didn't take a look at Turbo. We will put it, Tony D, let's drop Turbo on the list for tomorrow. And we will definitely take a look at it for you tomorrow, bro. I apologize for that. But with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the best. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. Shout out to Terry. Shout out to Take It Ace. Shout out to Terry. Shout out to Little Story. Shout out to Michael Clarkson. Not related to Kelly, guys. I already checked that. Shout out to Runners for Nerds. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Emery. Shout out to Gene Lee. And last but not least, shout out to our mods, guys. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Can you pick up the mouse for me? I can't. Mrs. Candle's hand is swollen. I didn't think I bit it that hard, but apparently broke skin. So we got to. I got to bring her to the doctor. Yeah. No, she's fine. She's fine. She's not mad. It was an accident. I was sniffing it, but I had to get it. Okay. I don't care. Just get me something bigger than this laptop mouse. All right. Thanks, dude. All right, bye. Oh, God. Guys, that was a joke. That was a skit. That was a skit, guys. Mrs. Candle's hand is not actually bleeding. I didn't bite it that hard. I'm not a weirdo, guys. It was just a little nibble. Anyway, I got to go to an undisclosed location, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love each and every single one of you. I'll see you next time. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy. On the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, At the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah. On a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll, hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah. Maxed out,